Alrighty, so simplify, multiply, and divide rational expressions. A rational expression is a ratio of two polynomial expressions. And those are the steps to simplify it. Another word for ratio, that's essentially just a fraction. So it's a ratio or it's a fraction of two polynomial expressions. Okay? So let's look at this one. We have 20x to the 6th over 14x squared. And we just need to simplify this. So we have to think, what number goes into 20 and 14? Well, 2 does. 2 goes into 20 10 times. 2 goes into 14 7 times. Then we have to simplify our x's. If we have 6 x's on top, 2 on bottom, 2 of those will cancel, and I'm left with 4 x's, which is x to the 4th. So when you divide, you subtract the exponents. So this is going to be 10x to the 4th over 7. Okay, because that x squared canceled in the bottom. Let's look at C. So we have y plus 8 over y squared plus 2y minus 48. Well, we can't simplify that top anymore, but we can factor out the bottom. That bottom factors to y plus 8 and y minus 6. We have a y plus 8 on top and 1 on bottom. Those are going to cancel, and I'm left with 1 over y minus 6. Okay, let's look at E. So we have p squared minus 49 over 7 minus p. So when we have a minus b over b minus a, that b minus a, we need to switch that. We always want it to be a minus b. So it's going to be negative a plus b, which really you can pull out that negative 1. Those cancel, and you're just left with negative 1. Okay, if I lost you there, let's go back to our example. We're going to switch that because we have 7 minus p on the bottom. We're going to change that to p, negative p plus 7. And then we're going to pull out the negative 1. So I have negative 1, p minus 7, and the top factors to p minus 7 and p plus 7. Now those p minus 7s cancel. Now it's with p minus 7 over negative 1. Whenever you have a negative 1, I want you to just pull it out clear to the front. So that's going to be negative p plus 7. Distribute that in, that's negative p minus 7. Okay, let's look at this one. So we have 6n squared plus 8n plus 2 over 2n squared minus 2. Let's factor out that 2 first, and then you get 3n squared plus 4n plus 1, and then n squared minus 1 on the bottom. The top factors to n plus 1 and 3n plus 1. The bottom factors to n minus 1 and n plus 1. There's a lot of factoring in this unit, so if you struggle with factoring, you need to come in and get help from yours truly, okay? Because it will be a struggle if we're not up to par on our factoring. Now those 2's cancel, those n plus 1's cancel, and I'm left with 3n plus 1 over n minus 1. Okay, you can do those examples. There's the answers to them. And then let's look at this one. So if a problem contains monomials only, multiply together, then simplify. And if it's binomials and trinomials, factor everything and then simplify. So let's look at this one. We have 6x squared y cubed over 2x squared y squared times 10x cubed y to the 4th over 18y squared. Let's multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. That's the easiest way to do this that I've found. So you get 60x to the 5th, y to the 7th, over 36x squared, y to the 4th. 12 goes into 65 times. 12 goes into 36 3 times. Those x's cancel, and you're left with x cubed. The y to the 7th divided by y to the 4th is y cubed. Okay, you can do example J. That's what you should get there. Let's look at K. So now we have binomials and trinomials here. So let's factor everything as far as we can factor it. So we have 4x, x minus 1, and that's over. We're just going to take out the GCF first. So 2x squared plus 2x minus 3. That top right there factors to x plus 3, x minus 2. The bottom, we could take out a 4x, and you're left with x plus 2. Then that bottom part factors to x plus 3 and x minus 1. And now we're going to start canceling things. Those 4x's will cancel, those x plus 1's will cancel, and those x plus 3's will cancel. So I'm left with, maybe, x minus 2 over 2 times x plus 2. You can do example J. You should get negative v plus 1 over 3. Okay, to divide a rational expression, you multiply by the reciprocal. Kind of like when you divide fractions, you have to flip and multiply. That's what we're talking about here. We have to flip, maybe write this down, flip and multiply. Okay, flip and multiply. So we have 5pq over 16p cubed divided by 35p p squared q squared over 8q to the 5th. We're going to flip that. So that's going to be 8pq over 16p cubed times 8q to the 5th, 35p squared. Then we can multiply across, and you get 40p q to the 6th over 560 p to the 5th. Then we're going to simplify it. 40 goes into 560 14 times. One of the p's cancel, leaving me p to the 4th on the bottom and q to the 6th on top. Okay, you can do example N. Just flip it and multiply. You should get 5 over 4x. Then for this one, so before we factor everything, we're going to flip that. So you get 2a cubed minus 12a squared over a squared minus 4a minus 12 times a squared minus 8a plus 15 over 24a squared minus 8a cubed. Now that right there, that's not in standard form, so put it in standard form. So it's going to be negative 8a cubed plus 24a squared. And now let's factor everything. So it's going to be 2a squared, a minus 6 over a minus 6a plus 2, and then a minus 3, a minus 5, and negative 8a squared, and a minus 3. Let's start simplifying. Those a squareds cancel, and I'm left with a negative 4 on the bottom because 2 goes into 8, negative 4 times. Or 2 goes into negative 8. Those a minus 6's cancel, a minus 3's cancel, and I'm left with a minus 5 over negative 4, a plus 2. The other way you can write this, you could do negative a minus 5 over 4a plus 2. Either answer is right, and I'll be happy either way. Okay. Let's look at this one. So we have k plus 3 over k divided by 4k plus 1 times 16k squared minus 1 over k plus 3. Well, we're going to flip that middle one because we're just dividing that part. So that's going to be k plus 3 over k times 1 over 4k plus 1 times 16k squared minus 1 over k plus 3. That 16k squared minus 1 is the only thing we can factor. So that's going to become 4k minus 1 and 4k plus 1. And then we can start canceling. Oh, that should be a plus. Whoops. Sorry. That should be a plus. Yeah, sorry. That should be a plus. Those cancel. Those cancel. And I'm left with 4k minus 1 over k. Remember to take the quiz and that you are all amazing human beings. And I will see you when I see ya.